What's up, guys? It's Kyle with another episode of Unlocking Your Inner Strength. In today's episode, I'm talking with my friend Brian Shoup. He's down over 100 pounds. What does it take to get there? What does it take to maintain that? Where did he fail in the past? Success leaves clues, guys. Success leaves clues. So listen in, take away what you will, and use it as inspiration on your own personal journey. Don't forget, like it, share it, leave me a review if you like what I'm putting out there. Here we go.
Morning.
Hey, Brian. What's
How you
up, buddy?
doing? What's up, bro?
Good. How you doing?
Doing well. How you doing, man? Good talking to you.
Yeah, likewise. Where you at? You're in California again?
Oregon, rainy Oregon.
Oregon, huh?
I'm up in Portland right now for work today, just getting things done.
And where do you live in Oregon?
I live down in Eugene, over about pretty close to about 5 minutes from the U of O. Real
Okay,
close. Yeah, man.
that's cool. Let me just find where my
It's good.
iPad is, man. There we go.
Thanks
So
for
you
taking
haven't?
some time. Thanks for
Yeah,
taking your
thanks.
time today, dude. I really appreciate you, man.
Thanks for staying persistent, man.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, it's been I figure what we'll do. Let me get a new nose strip on. We'll get we'll kind of just go over your story.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, share that. The ups and downs, the struggles, why you started, that type of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I'm prepared for
Yeah,
that.
so let me plug this guy in. All right. So is that where you're from originally?
I grew up in Spokane, Washington.
Okay. What made you move to Oregon?
My wife and so I went to college over here and then met my wife, and then we just been here ever since. And we love it over here in Oregon.
Where'd you
But
go? You went to University of Oregon?
I actually went to a small college, New Hope Christian College.
Okay.
Went there, got my degree over there, and then we moved to Seattle area for like a year, a little over a year, and it was just too many people over there, and so we moved back to down to Eugene area, bought a house down there, and we live in Springfield, which is just right outside of Oregon, right outside of
Okay.
Eugene, and just been there about 15 years actually now. So actually longer than that, 16 years, and
Oh
we love
yeah?
it. Yeah, we love it. It's a great place to go fishing. You know, there's a lot of outdoor stuff. You're over on the East Coast, right?
Yeah, we're in New Jersey.
You're in Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
All the way across the country.
Well, it's cool we can still meet up like this.
Yeah,
That's
very cool,
awesome, dude.
man.
Really appreciate the help you've given me over the last couple of years too.
Yeah. So what did you do? You just started following me on Facebook? Was that
Yeah, I kind of just started like I saw you on Facebook, saw your a couple of your fasting videos. I was really intrigued by that and just was like, I gotta check that out. So I started like researching you a little bit more, following you, just kind of listening to your advice and just kind of going through that. And dude, the last couple of years have just been a roller coaster just to change my life, man. Just what I've seen over the last couple of years has just been incredible.
Yeah,
Some of
that's
the
great, man.
results, those 72-hour fasts, bro. I don't care what people say. Those are game changers.
Yeah, they are, right? When you
I
do
did a
that,
seven. I did a 72-hour. Then I ate maybe for a day, and then I followed up with another like 54-hour fast.
that's
Money.
freaking great, man. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. It's the way to be. What does your wife say about it?
She loves it. She's cool. At first, she was like, I don't know, because I kind of did the thing where I would cut out this and that. I'd lose 15, 20, 30 pounds, and then I would gain it back within like a couple months. And then I would lose 60 pounds and gain it back. And then this is really the first time in my life where I've been able to just keep my weight off and just moving forward in that direction, which has just been awesome. I mean,
That's great.
she's on board now. So at first she
That's
was a little
cool.
bit skeptical, but she's on board now after seeing it for the results for 2 years and just keeping up with that and staying consistent. And that's the main. I think consistency is the main thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool, man. The consistency. Do you want to do it? I'm trying to think here. Let's do it on would you rather go live or do it here?
We can do it here. That's fine. We can do live or here if you want to put it on later. That's fine too. Either way is fine.
Yeah, we can use it as yeah, we'll do it here and then
Okay.
I'll post it as a podcast
Okay.
and then probably try to strip some of the video.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome, dude. You're the man.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be good. So let me do this. Let me
Okay.
Just kind of start with an intro. Let me see. 5 minutes in. All right, guys. It's Kyle once again with another episode of Unlocking Your Inner Strength. I'm here with a friend I'm meeting, actually talking with for the first time. We've been corresponding a lot through text. Brian Shoup, and we're going to go over his transformation today. So, Brian, thanks for being with me today, buddy.
Hey, good morning. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Good to see you, man. Good to
Yeah,
be here.
likewise, man. I appreciate Brian was persistent and I wanted to share his story and then, life keeps happening, right? We get busy, I got busy. And but that's part of how he made his transformation. He was consistent, persistent. So why don't you start, Brian, just telling us about well, tell us a little bit about yourself. How old are you? Where do you live? Tell us about your family. What do
So
you do for
I'm
work?
41 years old. Been kind of was the fat kid, growing up all my life. When I was a kid, kind of a husky kid, right? Not necessarily fat, just a bigger dude. And then when I graduated high school, I gained a bunch of weight, got to close to 320 pounds. My dad was like, "Hey, man, there's this diet that I want you to go on and maybe at least check it out." It was the South Beach diet and kind of a low carb, whole grain kind of diet. I did that. And I was running the treadmill almost every day, 6 days a week, 4 miles a day. And I lost a lot of weight. I lost like 100 pounds. And
Wow.
then I went off the diet, right? And that's when the weight started creeping back on. And over the course of, 5 years, the weight came all the way back on and I was over, 350 pounds again, right? And, that was kind of the life and kind of a roller coaster, like go up and go down, go up and go down. And finally, on March 27th, 2023, I went to my doctor, and the doctor's nurse, she pulled me aside and she's like, Brian, she goes, you need to change your life. You need to figure this out. She was like, you're gonna die. And if you don't change your life, right? And she's like, you got to figure it out. And I had hypertension. I had fatty liver. I had swollen ankles and swollen eyes. I was tired all the time, chronic inflammation. Had no desire to really do anything. I was just tired and sick. And she's like, you need to change your life. She's like, you got a family, you've got a wife, you've got kids. And she's like, if you don't, you're gonna die young. And I thought, man, that's just crazy. So I left the doctor's office that day, just kind of feeling down, just kind of feeling depressed about myself a little bit. And she's later on that day, I was like, you know what? She's right. I do. I need to change my life, and I need to be healthy for my wife and my kids, and they're really my why. To stay healthy for them. And so I kind of that's when I kind of got saw you a little bit on Facebook, and I was like, that's kind of cool that the fasting. So I started picking up fasting. I started doing like 24-hour fasts, like 3 or 4 days a week. And then I kind of bumped it up. I stopped running the treadmill. I started doing weight training, 4 or 5 days a week consistently. Not at crazy, just 45 minutes to an hour of weight training. And the weight just started just dumping off. I lost, first year I lost over 100 pounds
Wow.
over the last year. So now I'm 2 years into this journey, and now I'm about 130 pounds down, and feeling amazing. I've reversed all those markers, those health markers. Like I've reversed my insulin resistance. I've reversed chronic inflammation. So many different things. My blood pressure's better. I'm getting to the point where I don't even need to be on blood pressure medication anymore. My sleep apnea is pretty much gone. So many of those negative health markers are gone just by just incorporating just a little bit of fasting, and and then eating in a small window. Most of the days of the week I eat in like a 3 or 4 hour window per day, and I try to plan it around my workouts. So if I'm gonna work out, and then I'm gonna eat within 2 hours, and then be done. Usually I'm done eating around 7 o'clock at night, and then kind of the next day I try to fast as long as I can go, usually till about 3 or 4, and then kind of do the same. And then one day a week I'm trying to do a 36-hour kind of fast, and then
Okay.
every couple weeks it would be a 72-hour fast.
So let's back up a little bit before we go over the fasting schedule. When you did the South Beach, lost a bunch of
Mhm.
weight and then put it back, how long did you keep that off? And then at what point did you like did the habits change or was did the mindset break with that and why?
I probably kept it off for, I would say, 6 months. And the reason why I kept it off, for even for 6 months, is I was just running all the time, running the treadmill, putting that stress on my body. But I realized, the cardio was too much. I couldn't do it all the time. I got burned out. And probably 6 months later, I kind of got burned out, kind of stopped doing the diet, started doing, living my life. I got married, we had a kid. I just kind of stopped paying attention to my diet, and that's when my weight started going back up.
So the weight started going back up. Life got in the way.
Yeah.
And when you say you got burned out from the cardio, was it just the monotony of it, or was your body feeling beat up from it?
But body was kind of feeling beat up. My legs, my lower back, started getting some pain. Was just always tired. Just going into the gym, running for 45 minutes on the treadmill, and then getting home. That's what I'd get home, and then I'd feel like I need to eat. Sometimes I'd go home and eat a whole pizza, and I'd just totally negate that whole workout. And so now I don't do as much cardio. I'm mostly doing weight training, and
Okay.
I feel like that's been the game changer.
And with your weight training, is it stuff you're coming up with on your own? Do you have a trainer? What does that look like?
I've watched a few different people train. I know how to train because in high school I was a football player, track. I did through the shot put in high school, so I knew how to lift. I knew how to train. So just getting back to that, there's a few trainers that I've kind of followed online. You're one of them. Just kind of seeing what you do, but yeah, there's pretty much I don't really do a trainer. I just go in and do it myself for the most part.
Okay. Now, how many days a week?
5 days a week consistently.
And how long are you in there? Like, what's the
I
session like?
mean, probably I go there. I say I try to cut it off no more than an hour. I don't want
Okay.
to get burned out. I want to stay consistent. Sometimes I'll go in there for an hour and a half, but for the most part, 45 minutes to an hour, just enough to send the signal to the brain, to get stronger is really what I do.
Nice. And what is that typically morning or PM?
Usually in the afternoon or evening when I get off work. For the most
Okay.
part, sometimes I go in the morning, but I say I'm going to get up, and then I set my alarm clock, and then I don't, knowing that I can probably go in the evening.
Hmm.
It's kind of my thing.
Okay. Cool, man. And then getting that kind of that news that you had to, you were not in good health.
Mm, mm.
What do you think you would have grasped onto what I teach with the fasting and the panda diet if you didn't have that pain point? Like usually what I see is it takes people don't seek out pleasure, right? They want to avoid pain. So just tell us about the mindset at that time. Was it the perfect storm? Like you saw this and you were also like, shoot.
Yeah, I knew. So I had, anytime you want to, be successful in like a weight loss journey, or I felt like you have to figure out your why, right? My why is my wife, my beautiful wife, and my two young daughters. I have a 9-year-old and 11-year-old daughter. And those were the reasons why I wanted to get healthy. When my doctor's nurse told me that I needed to get healthier, I'm going to die young, that woke me up. I was just like, I got to figure this out. And so that's kind of where I was like, okay, let's start researching. And that's when I found you, started looking at what you do and kind of the fasting, beasting, feasting approach. And that's how I live my life now.
That's great.
Yeah.
And what would you say is different about what you're doing with the fasting, beasting, feasting, and the panda method versus the other stuff you tried, the South Beach diet? Like, what's the difference here?
The difference is I don't cut anything out. I don't really keep track of my macros. I really honestly don't count my calories. I do try to, eat protein first when I first eat. That's the first thing I consume is protein. And then I go from there. But yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. And what would you say is your favorite aspect of it?
I feel like if I miss a day, if I fall off track a day, there's more leniency, right? So if I have a day where I slip up and I eat a bunch of food that I shouldn't have eaten, the next day I get back on track and I really haven't lost any progress. Another thing too is just not having to cut anything out, not feel like I have to restrain anything from my diet. I know I can eat whatever I want. Just try to do it in that window. It's not like I'm eating a bunch of processed foods. I really try to stay away from that as much as I can. Yeah, sometimes I have Taco Bell or something like that, but for the most part, I try to eat whole foods, and that's been a game changer for me for sure.
Okay. So you still have some leniency, right? And that's part of the beauty of it.
Hmm.
Eating
Oh, absolutely.
the cheap food and all that. And
Hmm.
has this negatively, like one of the concerns guys will bring up to me, well, I can't do it because I got a family. Like, talk about that aspect of it as far as,
Well, I think if you have a family, you should do it, right? That's people say that's selfishness to people think it's selfishness to go work on your body, work on your health, leave your family to go to the gym. It's not selfishness. It's actually you're actually taking care of them, right? You're actually thinking of them, trying to get healthy for them. And that's the thing that's really kind of gone through my mind. It's like it's not selfish. It's not
yeah,
selfish to go to the gym, work out, and get away from your family to go work out and better yourself. You're bettering yourself for them. That's my
yeah,
mindset.
yeah. I've always said it's putting your own mask on first, like they tell you on the airplane, right?
100%, 100%.
Only way that you could really show up to the
Mm,
level that you want to show up at.
exactly, exactly. That's
Now, so we talked a little bit before we started with your wife. What's her attitude towards what you're doing with the Panda Diet, the Panda Method? Like, what's has she been supportive? Was she skeptical?
Oh man, my wife. To be honest with you, I don't think I would have been able to do this without her. She's very supportive. Because when I come home, there's always like a good healthy meal cooked. She's there for me. If I get frustrated or discouraged, she's always there talking to me about it. But she's encouraging me. She loves it. She's proud of me and is glad that I've changed my life and gotten healthy for them.
That's awesome.
She's on board 100%.
And she's seen you do other stuff in the past, right? So she had reason to be skeptical probably at
Yeah,
first, right?
yeah. She's seen me put on weight. She's seen me put on 50, 60 pounds in a 3 month period of time.
Wow,
And but she's loved me and she's been graceful and just, just stuck to me, stuck with me through it when I was sick. When the doctor told me that I was going to die young, she was there for me. And then she's still there for me. And she's always, she's been there for me ever since. So
that's
she's
great.
on board. It's great to have someone who's on board. It's great. It's great to have your wife on board with what you're doing. I have to say.
Yeah, yeah, that's important, man. Super important. And remind me, you said you're down 130 pounds?
About 130 pounds. Like I said, the last year I've really not lost a lot of I've gained a lot of strength. Got my body fat tested. Before I actually started my journey, I was about 42% body fat. So I was big, the big old. I got up to closer to like 370 pounds with my max. I'm in the 240 to 200 and kind of 50 pound range, kind of fluctuating in that range for the last like 6 months. But just getting stronger. I started out about a year ago. I tried to do like pull ups. I couldn't do one pull up. Now been training, doing that like 3 days a week. Coming in there, that's the first thing I do is pull ups when I get to the gym. And now I'm up to being able to do 12 in one set, which is
That's great.
crazy.
That's great. And how tall are you?
About 6'2".
Okay. So big guy.
Yeah, yeah.
What would you say, Brian, is if there's other dads listening to this, what would you say is the number one tip or thing that you've done as far as your success in maintaining this?
Oh man, you can't beat yourself up. Um, if you slip up one day, instead of letting you let that get you down, use that as motivation to get back on track the next day. If you go to Taco Bell and you eat like crap one day, get back on track the next day. Don't beat yourself up over it. And that's my mentality.
That's it. And now you've been able to do this, what you said, almost 2 years?
2 years on March 27th, it'll be 2 years.
Wow, she's coming up.
Hmm. It's fast, coming up
Yeah,
fast.
that's great. And I was just making a YouTube video before, and I was saying that, the Panda Diet I've been doing about 6 years now. You can't diet for 2 years.
Mm-mm.
It shows you that it's something different. And do you feel that this is the natural way of that the body is supposed to operate?
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Nice.
Yeah, it does. It's true. It's the way it should be. Um, we shouldn't be eating every 5, 6 hours. I have friends that they eat 6 meals a day, and every time you eat, your insulin spikes. And that's one thing I figured out is if you don't eat, you go just keep that in a window. You keep your insulin at bay, and it's the way to go.
Yeah, yeah, it is, man. It, too many people in the fitness field have been, I don't think they don't do it intentionally, but they're just repeating propaganda,
Hmm.
calories in, calories out, not realizing that that's not the answer.
Hmm.
And it's not the way to a lasting change,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
100%.
Yeah,
It's
man.
crazy. It's crazy to see the changes over the last 2 years. I'm still noticing changes in my body. And even though I'm not losing weight, I think I'm changing my body composition for the better.
Yeah,
Um, Went from size quadruple. I was wearing a quadruple extra large shirt 2 years ago. Now I can fit into like an XL just fine.
so
Yeah,
that's one of the
incredible.
downsides. You got to get a new wardrobe,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's a good kind of downside, I would say.
Yeah, man. Well, what would you tell other busy dads out there that are on the path, they're they're seeking a health transformation, but they're having trouble starting? What would you tell them?
I would say to figure out your why. Why have you not started, first of all? And then why would you start? What's the reason? Why do you want to get healthy? Do you want to get healthy? Once you figure out your why, I think it becomes clearer. It becomes easier to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, certainly. Certainly. And that goes for any area of life. Once people make that connection, I think, the fasting, having the why at the beginning, but then also mastering the mental noise and the head
Mm.
trash that comes. Um,
Yeah.
I think that carries over. Have you seen that carry over to other parts of your life, like the self
Parts of my life.
mastery?
Yes, I'm better. I'm better at my job. Better at everything. Better dad. Like I have more energy when I get home from work. I used to have just no energy. I get off work and the kids want to go play, and my daughter want to go play basketball in the driveway, and I'd be like, no, I'm too tired. No, I'm not. I'm going to stay in tonight and just do my own thing, and just getting free of that, just having the energy when I get home from work to play with my kids and just be there for them. Getting up in the morning, just feeling great in the morning has just been just a game changer.
Yeah, that energy, man. It's the number one asset we have.
Oh yeah. Hmm. You want to
Uh,
move more. You want to just get out
yeah,
and do more, and just it's nice to have that energy for sure.
yeah. And when you did the South Beach diet or any other plans, how was your energy when you were doing that?
Hit and miss. It was high sometimes, low sometimes, but I was eating more. I was eating probably too much, and then like I said, I'd go run the treadmill for 5 miles, 4 miles on the treadmill, and come home from that and just be tired and have no energy at all. Now I with my doing less cardio and just doing mainly just weights, I have energy when I'm not like beating myself up at the gym. I'm just going in there getting what I need to get done, and then getting out. And I get home from that, and I have energy. I have energy to go do things, and it's just been just a great process of just doing that.
Great, man. And would you recommend this to other busy fathers?
100%, absolutely. I would. You should if you're not doing this, you should. That's my
Yeah.
advice. Figure out your why, though. That's the thing. That's the big thing is figure out your why. Why are you doing it? Once you figure that out, like I said, it becomes a lot more clear, a lot easier to navigate.
Yeah, great advice. That's
Mhm.
great. You got to get the mind right
Mhm.
before any transformation. And then you got to
Abs-
keep redirecting it. I find that you have to keep going back to, we're going to get off track. We're going to get distracted. We got
yeah.
to keep coming back to that.
Another thing too is a lot of people, they lean on just motivation, just being motivated all the time. You're not always. That's the thing. I'm not always motivated. At some point, discipline has to kick in, and I feel like that's what it did. It did for me. It clicked over the last couple of years. I've become a more disciplined person, not just in my exercise routine, but my eating routine, just my work routine. Everything has just been more disciplined. It's not just on motivation.
Yeah, man. That's great. That's great. That's what we want to see, is that's the mental muscle that comes along with it, the carryover effect.
Yeah. And then as far as like another thing I would tell dads too is like start somewhere. You don't have to start out with a 72-hour fast. Just start somewhere. 12 hours, 14 hours, 18 hours, something like that. Just build yourself. You have to build yourself into it.
Yeah, yeah. Just start, like you said. Simply begin. Don't overthink it.
Hmm.
Don't overthink it. Clear the calculator when you fall off track. Get it back to zero.
Hmm.
Up again. And so to kind of wrap it up, a couple things. Do you have any questions for me, Brian?
No, man, you've been really clear. I really appreciate your advice over over the last couple of years that you've given me. Just some of your posts, just been great. No, I don't really have any questions for you.
All right. And if people want to follow your journey, where can they find you?
You can find. I don't have an Instagram yet. That's one thing I might be setting up. But you can find me. My name's Brian Shoup. You can find me on Facebook. If you ever have any questions, feel free to message me. I love to help out other dads, other people. Just to get strong. Figure it out mentally. But yeah, feel free to reach out.
Great, man. And spell your last name for people when they're looking it up.
SHOOP.
Simple. Just like it
Easy.
sounds.
Just like hoop with an S in front of it.
I like it. I like it, man. I like it. All right, man. This has been awesome. Long overdue. Um,
Yeah, dude.
I found when you text me, it's very inspiring. So keep doing that. Keep me
Thank you,
posted
Kyle.
on your journey. And
I appreciate you, man.
yeah, this is great, man. I'm going to be sharing this, guys, and next week this will be out, and hopefully some other dads. I know they will get inspiration from this. Keep up the great work, okay, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks, Kyle.
All
Good
right,
talking
bro.
to you, man.
Yeah, let's be in touch.
Yeah, stay in touch. Have a
You
good
got it.
one.
Yeah, you too,
Bless
Brian.
you, buddy. Bless you, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. Have a good day.
Okay, bye.